Today we're going to learn how to build a custom website. We're going to start with something very simple, a classic Hello World kind of website. And then we're going to move up to a 6-page website called My Favorite Foods. And finally we will build a larger website on a product of your choosing, and you'll do this work as a team. Before we actually build anything, let's go through and define some terms. First of all, a web page is a window that you see on your screen when you go to a website such as Facebook or Google or Amazon, and contained in that web page are some commands called HTML tags. As a matter of fact, HTML is the language that lets you display information on the web. One of the languages, but the basic one. You will have pictures or graphics. You will have text that contains some information that you're interested in. And behind the scenes, you will also have code that will perform special tasks and retrieve information from the server in response to your commands. A website is simply a collection of pages that are linked together using hyperlinks. The website, of course, is stored on a server which is connected to the internet. To continue with the definition, there's a web server, which is the computer that stores the web pages that you create. And the computer has a special program that allows it to send pages back to your computer. It has more powerful hardware, and it has a file system that's used to store your website. Later on in this section, we will actually create this file system and discuss a little bit more about what that means. As I said before, our first project is going to be Hello World, which is just going to display a basic message. Usually it's Hello World. This will only take a few minutes to accomplish. We're going to go on to a project called My Favorite Foods, which is going to be 6 pages in length, and it will allow you to build a website and show your friends, family, something that you created, and also show your favorite foods. This is equivalent to a personal website. Tools that we're going to use: we're going to use Notepad, which is a basic text editor. We're going to use Expression Web 4, which is similar to Microsoft Word, a what you see is what you get kind of editor. That is, you'll be able to see the results on the page as you create it. There's a basic program called Paint that we're going to use to shrink the images to the size that we want them. We're going to get our images from Google Images on the web, and we're going to use a web browser to actually test our website. So what you're looking at is the steps that we're going to use to actually build this Hello World page, and I want you to make note of the steps that you're going to take. We're going to create a folder, and inside that folder we're going to create another folder called Images. We're going to add your picture to that Images folder. We're going to use a Microsoft Paint program, which is on your computer, to make your picture smaller. As it comes out of a phone camera or any other camera, it's quite a large photo. We want to make it 400 pixels wide, and the height will be changed automatically. And we're going to save it there because we're going to use it later on to put on your Hello World page. We will then open up Expression Web and get started with creating the page. We're going to create that page, and we're going to name it index.html. Index.html is generally the first page of any website. It could be index.aspx or .php, but generally the first name is index, and the .html or the .php just indicates what type of language is being used to drive the page. Lastly, we can customize the page and do anything that you want with it. Okay, let's go ahead and set up our file system, which is going to be the location of our content for the website. So I'm going to right click, and I'm going to go to new, and I want a, what do I want? I want a folder. I'm going to rename this folder to call it my HELLO. Let's get it right. So the name of my site is going to be My Hello World. That's the name of my folder, which is where I'm going to keep it. Now I'm going to create another folder, and I'm going to call this one Images, which is where I'm going to store my pictures. So I right click here, and I say New Folder. I'm going to call it Images. IMAGES. And I'm going to take images and I'm going to put it inside of my website. So I just moved it. Now you can't see it now, but it's actually inside of my Hello. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our picture and put it in images. I'm going to go here now and double click on Hello World to open it up. And inside you can see images. And I'm going to go ahead and open up images. And you see I have my Hello World. I got it spelled wrong, but I'll fix that. And then images. Now I'm going to take a picture, a snapshot I took, and I'm going to drag it from my desktop into the images section. So, got my picture there. Go back to Hello World. Now I'm going to use Expression Web. I'm going to open that up, and I'm going to end up saving my web page for Hello World inside of this folder. Let's open up Expression Web. Go to the search, type in and there it is. Takes a couple seconds to come up. Now I've got a file that I'm going to save this file with another name. File, save as, and I'd like to go to desktop, and let's go to our Hello World folder, and I'm going to change the name to index.html. The normal classic name for the starting web page is index.html. So let me save it. You'll notice here that we have our basic HTML tags. All HTML documents start with less than, HTML, greater than, and you can notice down here that you have an end tag for it. You also have a title, and you have a begin tag and end tag. And then the head section, you have a begin tag and an end tag. You're beginning to see the pattern. Same thing with the body. Beginning tag, end tag. Now what we want to do is add a title to our web page. And the title is going to be Hello World Project. So I'm going to type that in. If I can get my cursor in the right place. So that's there. And this is what you'll see at the top of the page if you brought it up on the web. I think the next thing we want to do is add a paragraph to the body. There are multiple ways of getting this in, but I'm going to type it here. Less than, and then there's a P, close it, and I've got the tags that will let me put in a paragraph. And a paragraph is just a segment of information that you want to store on your site. And so I'm going to enter my data, and I'll say this is my world project. And if I click down here, you'll see that the text is shown. With the way the page is laid out, I can see both the code and I can see the results of how it would be displayed in a browser if I were to bring it up. Now I'm going to go ahead and click on this disk and save my work. I'm going to do a couple more things to this page before I complete this exercise. One thing I want to do is to add an image, which will be a picture, and then I'll also want to change the background. Now to add in a image box for my picture, first thing I want to do is go up to panel here, and then I want to display toolboxes, toolbox. And you may have seen this in other kinds of applications, but the tags that you need, you can pull from this box and actually just drag them to the page. I'm looking for an image, and I want to put it right below this paragraph here. So over in my toolbox, I see image. So let me drag it over. And there we go. And I want to put it on the next line, so I'll just click right after the end tag for the paragraph and click enter. And then I've got the spot for my image. Now that I have my image tag in, I need to I need to populate it. That is, I need to actually add a picture to it. So I'm going to right click and I'm going to click on properties and let's find that picture. Click on browse. I know where I saved it. We're on the desktop and we're in HelloWorld and images. There it is. And I'll just click on open. And I need to fill out some other information here. I need to give it an alternate text, and I'll just say picture of Frank. And what this is used for is if somehow my picture is missing once this page is brought up on the website, this alternate text would appear. And then this description is just more information about the picture. And you can add more descriptive information there. And again, if someone was searching the web and they wanted some more details of what that picture is about, they could actually pick up this long description. So I'll click OK, and there's a picture. This is my Hello World project. This is my picture. And for purposes of this demonstration, I want to do one other thing. I'd like to change the background. So I'm going to go to the body tag. I'm going to right click it. And then I'll scroll down and look at the properties, tag properties. And I want to look at formatting. And I actually want to pick the colors. So let's drop down and say more colors. And I want to give it kind of a orangey kind of background. And I'll click OK. OK. There's my page. And, you know, not a fabulous page, but gets you started using Expression Web. Before we move on to the next website section, I just will click on this design. This gets rid of the code, and it shows you what the page will look like on the web. So let's move on and do some more work.